This is my very first video after a while, and I must say it's good to be back. It's good to be back. We were really focusing on TikTok, growing the TikTok following, growing the community on TikTok. If you don't have me on there, just go first and last name. However, we are back now on YouTube because we really want to, of course, grow the channel, want to get monetized, but really push the narrative that it is possible to be driven on a daily. How to be motivated, how to be driven on a daily, where you can live life with so much passion on a daily basis. How do we generate that? And the purpose of this channel is exactly that, all right? So there's going to be a couple of videos that's going to be coming out over the next couple of months, and it's going to be following the theme of how to be driven daily. And I want to kick this off with this mindset. You see, let me paint a picture. Back in the day when I was in primary school, we used to, and a big shout out to those that's on TikTok right now, we're broadcasting live. So if you ever want behind the scenes, make sure to head to TikTok, because we will be doing behind the scenes viewership when we do the recordings. So when I was in St. John's Primary School in Kensington, Cape Town, South Africa, I used to be in the athletic team, right? And we used to wake up at, or rather we need to be at the school on the lawn by 7 a.m. So wake up at 6, have breakfast. Remember, you used to have oats for breakfast, a banana, and head off to the school. 7 o'clock, boom, at the school. And then we would train. And then that will repeat on a daily basis, And then moving over to high school, Kensington High, Cape Town. Shout out to all those that's living in Kensington. Shout out to those that attended Kensington High in Cape Town. For a couple of years, I was doing the same thing. And out of school, it's a case of where, okay, I'm no longer in the athletics team. I no longer have the same regiment. You know, as an athlete, you watch what you eat, because what you eat will determine your performance. You watch how you sleep, because how you sleep determines your performance. You watch how you move, your lifestyle. And now the question is, why does that change when you are out of school, when you're no longer an athlete? And today's message is essentially this. I want you to remember these 3 words. Athlete for life. Let me say that one more time. Athlete for life. When I've adopted this attitude of being an athlete for life, my whole life changed. No cap. It changed. Why? Because now I was thinking like an athlete. I was behaving like an athlete. I was acting like an athlete, even though I wasn't running track anymore, whether it's hurdles, whether it was long distance, whether it was sprints. Even though I wasn't doing that, I was behaving like it. Why? Because I knew that behaving like an athlete will, number one, get me in elite shape. And number 2, it will structure my life where now I will stay away from bad elements, aka eating nonsense for the most part. You know, we like to indulge. You know, if you're in Cape Town, you can't not have your malva pudding. You cannot have your peppermint tart. But you know what I mean? You stay away from eating nonsense for most of the time. I have to put that disclaimer in there. You stay away from sleeping late, waking up late. You stay away from drinking excessively. So being an athlete and having the same regimen as an athlete really saved my life. And I know if you incorporate this in your regiment, it's going to save your life as well. Look, I know it's tough. I know it's tough when it comes to keeping yourself accountable, especially if you are alone, especially if you don't have individuals that are like-minded. I know it's tough. It's a daily grind. Being driven daily, it's not you driven on day one and you set for the rest of the week. It's a daily mission to keep that drive. Key number one, athlete for life. Put this in your regiment. Keep this as a mental framework and see how your life changes. I want to let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this is, because I know as it changed my life, it's going to change your life. Now, this is a framework that is very much on the practical side, and I'll be doing more of these. I'll also be doing more on the spiritual side as well. But this will be the best place to start. This transformed my diet. This transformed my sleeping patterns. This transformed my lifestyle. And if it could do it, if it could have done it for me, it will be able to do it for you. If I'm able to change, you're able to change. Really, really let that sink in. If a guy from Kensington Factoryton could change his life from a country, from a community that was drug infested, that was the poverty was really high there, and is still high. Gangsterism, drug abuse. If I could change my life, so can you. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone creep in your ear and say, hey, this is going to be life forever. You can change. You can. And look, I'm not coming from a position where of privilege. Oh no. I'm not coming from a position of, look at my life, do this. I'm coming from a position of, look, it's tough. However, it is possible. I always want you to remember this when watching my videos. The underlying theme of all my videos is these three words. It is possible. Doesn't matter what your neighbor told you, your friend told you, a family member told you, a teacher told you, someone that you looked up to told you. It doesn't matter. It is possible. Keep this in your mind. Keep these three words in your mind. It is possible, but also these three words, athlete for life. Make sure to comment below your thoughts. I'd love to interact with you in the comments below. Make sure to connect with me on TikTok as well to get the behind the scenes and also for day-to-day footage. And remember to share this video with someone you care about. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you do that. And until next time, peace.